Good morning. My name is Kay and I live in Wick, a little village south of Binstead. This is Thought for the Day for Thursday the 24th of February, and today's passage is Genesis chapter 32 verses 3 to 30. As this is rather long, I will be concentrating on verses 22 to 30. Chapters 25 to 35 of Genesis and intermittently to chapter 49 are devoted to the life of Jacob, a fascinating character whose name means heel grabber, a reference to how he was born. This is a Hebrew idiom for cheat and a deceiver, and Jacob was certainly guilty of being one before the life-changing event described in this passage. Having cheated his elder twin brother Esau out of their father Isaac's blessing 20 years earlier, Jacob fled from Canaan for fear of being killed by Esau. 20 years later, he wanted to return, but he was terrified that Esau would kill him. As a peace offering, Jacob first sent ahead hugely valuable gifts for Esau. He then decided to send his family across the Jabbok, a tributary of the Jordan, to the Promised Land, before returning to the original campsite alone, maybe to pray. We pick up the story in verse 22. Jacob wrestles with God. That night, Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "It is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." So while Jacob remains alone, wrestling with the terror of meeting Esau, he becomes involved in a wrestling match which he was not expecting. He ends up grappling with an unknown stranger all night in the dark. At daybreak, the mysterious man gains a massive advantage over Jacob by dislocating his hip. At that moment, Jacob realizes that his opponent is divine and asks for a blessing. In a profound moment of symbolism, God insists that Jacob, known for his deception and lies, should identify himself first. In response to Jacob's honest answer, God changes Jacob's name to Israel and blesses him. But Jacob has his limp to remind him of his struggle. What an extraordinary story. What can we learn from it? At first sight, it might seem strange that our omnipotent God decides to engage with Jacob in this way. And God allows Jacob to wrestle with him all night, until at dawn he chooses to dislocate Jacob's hip before asking to be let go. God had to break down Jacob's self-will and self-reliance, and it was a battle. Although clearly defeated, Jacob recognizes that this man is God or an angel and insists on a blessing. Remember the one he stole from Esau? Then God strikes right at the heart of Jacob's past duplicity and current need, by asking Jacob what his name is. At this moment, Jacob can continue to lie and deceive, or he can be honest. Jacob chooses to be honest and admits the truth about his name and who he really is. As a result, God gives him a new name and a new purpose as Israel, meaning the one who strives with God, or God rules. And he becomes the father of God's chosen people, and God blesses him. Despite Jacob's lies and schemes and struggles against God, he could only be truly blessed once he realized that he could not continue to be self-sufficient and owned up to his checkered past. This is so relevant for us today, whatever we have done in the past, and however much we have tried to be self-reliant, rebelled, or gone our own way. We may still be wrestling with God today. But if we are truly honest with God, if we recognize where we have gone wrong and how much we need him, he will forgive us, and he will bless us in the future in ways which we cannot even begin to imagine. Have a blessed day.